Hello guys, I hope you all are doing well today. Welcome to ID Talk TV. In this video, I will be bringing you up to speed with some of the latest happening in Chelsea Football Club and also some of the latest in football generally. So stay tuned as we dive into it. Chelsea have reached a pre-contract agreement to sign 22-year-old Dutch international Emegha from RC Strasbourg. The 22-year-old striker have reached an agreement to join Chelsea on a 7-year deal. Let's take a look at the report from Fabrizio Romano. Check this out. Exclusive. Chelsea will sign Emegha in 2026. Pre-agreement done. Here we go. Chelsea anticipate Champions League and Premier League clubs keen on Emegha as he wanted to stay at Strasbourg, lead them in Europe, and then join Chelsea on 7-year contract from 2026. So Fabrizio Romano has confirmed a year we go for Emegha. And I know a lot of us will still remember that this name actually came up when Liam Delap sustained injury in our round 3 match of the Premier League against Fulham. When Liam Delap sustained that injury, Chelsea had 3 options in mind because we were left without a natural striker. Now, Chelsea had 3 options in mind. The first option was to go after Konrad Adder, and at that point, Konrad Adder was at the verge of joining RB Leipzig, and Chelsea could no longer place their hand to reach Konrad Adder, and Adder actually secured his desired move to RB Leipzig. The second option Chelsea had was to recall McGeough, who had already been on loan from Sunderland, and the third option was to terminate the loan move of Nicholas Jackson, who was almost at the verge who was already at Bayern Munich to secure his loan move to Bayern Munich. And Chelsea ended up revoking Nicholas Jackson's deal. But while that was still going on and Nicholas Jackson was feeling very reluctant to return back to UK, Chelsea actually triggered the second option, which was to recall McGeough. And McGeough was recalled from Sunderland on a loan move with Emmanuel Emegha in mind as the future striker for Chelsea. And today it is confirmed that Emmanuel Emegha have signed a 7-year deal with Chelsea and will join the club next year, 2026. Pre-agreement with RC Strasbourg done, and Emmanuel Emegha already is a Blue. Check this out. Welcome to Chelsea, Emmanuel Emegha. So Emmanuel Emegha has already been seen as a Chelsea player. He's already welcome to the Blues family. So we hope to see what Emmanuel Emegha will offer Chelsea come next season. But for this season, the 22-year-old has been hot cake in the eyes of so many Premier League clubs, including Champions League playing club. But the 22-year-old striker desire to stay at Strasbourg and help them in their Europa competition this season. So congratulations to Emmanuel Emegha and welcome to the Blues family. Okay, let's move on. Yesterday, the English FA slammed Chelsea with 74 count charges for breaching the FA agent regulation rule. And that has actually sparked a lot of reactions, and some saying Chelsea could be given a sporting sanction, and some argued that it could be just a fine because the case on ground is actually a self-reported case. It was actually reported by Chelsea owner after they took over from the previous owner, talking about Roman Abramovich in 2022. So a lot of reaction have actually sparked since the English FA released that report of 74 count charges on Chelsea. But let's take a look at some of the report that is coming as from that report, the possible fine or sanction that Chelsea could face. Check this out from CFC Daily. The FA sanction available include a point deduction or transfer ban, given Chelsea apparent cooperation, and the fact that the alleged offences took place under previous ownership. A fine may also be an option. So, a fine could be an option, but the possible sanction they're actually looking at to place on Chelsea is a point deduction or a transfer ban, talking about a sporting sanction. But at this point in time, personally, I don't see that happening. Chelsea will not get any sporting sanction because reason being that the case on ground is self-reported and Chelsea actually are cooperating very well with the English FA and the Premier League, who have also entered into the investigation of the case. And Chelsea is doing everything to reach a reasonable conclusion on the issue. So we'll get to see how this will play out, but possibly it's going to be a fine. Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca was asked about the 74 charges that the FA placed on Chelsea. Here's what Enzo Maresca have to say. Enzo Maresca, on the 74 charges, I know from the club that they are satisfied about the process personally. I have nothing to add. I have no idea. To be honest, I want to focus on the pitch, something I can control. That's interesting. Smart one from Enzo Maresca, and that is just the obvious. The Chelsea owners and the top directors are actually handling the situation, and Enzo Maresca is actually spot on his response. His own aspect is to make sure he handles the situation that is going on in the pitch with the first team players. And like he said, his focus is on the pitch, and that is something he can actually control, and definitely true. So, as it stands, Enzo Maresca is not even perturbed, he's not disturbed about the situation, because definitely there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. So, with the confidence Enzo Maresca had, check this report that is coming. Breaking. Chelsea are expecting a financial sanction roughly similar to the £8 million UEFA fine and are not expecting a sporting sanction as reported by Matt Law. So, the expected sanction that Chelsea could possibly get is a financial fine and no more, no less. Definitely the fine will come. And like I said, and I will keep saying, as reported by the FA, the issue on ground, the case is a self-reported case. It was Chelsea that actually took the case to FA when the new owner, talking about the Blue Co ownership, Body and Co., when they took over, they went through the files in the office and they find such discrepancies. And they called the attention of the FA. They did that for transparency purpose and for accountability. So, having done that, I think that actually justified the whole situation, that it was for accountability that makes Todd Boehly to call on the attention of the FA. And having called on the attention of FA, he went on to release every file in Chelsea possession to the FA for thorough investigation since 2022. And once that investigation was done, the Chelsea was charged 74 count charges for breaching the FA regulation rule, the FA agent regulation rule. So, in the near future, such occurrences can be avoided, and that is the main reason that Boehly actually called the attention of the football governing body in England. So, Chelsea likely to get a financial fine and no sporting sanction. As reported by Matt Law. The report went on to say, Chelsea are confident they will avoid a point deduction or any other sporting charge, as reported by Matt Law. So, at this point in time, it's looking very clear that Chelsea are not likely to face any sporting sanction like point deduction or transfer ban. The only sanction Chelsea can get from that situation is just a fine. So, let's move on. One man most talked about even in this transfer window has been Nicholas Jackson. And Nicholas Jackson has been in the news all because of the deal he signed with FC Bayern Munich. A couple of days ago, a viral interview with former FC Bayern Munich president talking about Uli Hoeneb, and he alleged that the deal that brought Nicholas Jackson to FC Bayern was not what was reported, which was the 16.5 million euro. It was actually 13.5. And he alleged that Nicholas Jackson and his agent actually paid 3 million euros. So on that, report have actually came out all concerning that interview Uli Hoeneb actually had. And the report said that it was not actually 3 million. It was 1.5 million. But the controversy in all of this has been the condition attached with the obligation for FC Bayern Munich to actually keep Nicholas Jackson on a permanent deal. And that has been the controversy, because in that interview, Uli Hoeneb also said that Nicholas Jackson will have to start 40 matches for FC Bayern Munich. And in his word, he doesn't see that happening. There's no way Nicolas Jackson can start 40 matches. No way. Because the Bundesliga as a whole is just 34 league matches. And he went on to give his calculation. The Champions League, should Bayern Munich made it to the final, is 17 matches. But before FC Bayern Munich could sign Nicolas Jackson, 2 rounds of Bundesliga matches have already been played by FC Bayern Munich. Their opening match against RB Leipzig, which they won by 6-0. And their week 2 match against FC Augsburg, which they went away to win 3-2. So 2 matches was out already, remaining 32. 17 in the Champions League should FC Bayern Munich made it to the final, making it a total of 49 matches. And he doesn't see Nicolas Jackson starting 40 matches in that process. So that has actually sparked lots of debate, and reports have come out whether the deal signed was for Nicolas Jackson to have 40 appearances or for Nicolas Jackson to have 40 starts, because they are 2 different things entirely. 40 starts simply means that Nicolas Jackson will have to start 40 matches before it will be counted, and if that happens, the deal could happen for Nicolas Jackson to remain in FC Bayern Munich on a permanent deal. But there has been a twist in all of this. Not only will Nicolas Jackson start 40 matches, there has been a twist. Check this report out from Chancellor Philip. The obligation to buy in Nicolas Jackson's contract is not only tied to starting appearances. Every game in which he plays at least 45 minutes would count towards the 40. That means a substitution before or at the start of the second half would also be included. Added time does not count. So it is either he starts the game or play at least 45 minutes. Nevertheless, it's still highly unlikely that the clause would be met. Absolutely, yeah, we just have to tell ourselves the obvious truth. This kind of condition that is attached to contract, I mean, it's unimaginable, it's unthinkable for such a condition to be reached. I don't see it happening either. It's not possible. It's not possible. Nicolas Jackson cannot, even if it is 40 appearances, the only way that it can be possible is if Harry Kane is reportedly injured today. If Harry Kane is reportedly injured today. But nobody is wishing Harry Kane injury because Bayern Munich needs him. So as it stands, now the condition is not just about 40 starts or appearances. It also includes the timing in his game. If he didn't play up to 45 minutes, then whatever appearance he has in that game will not be counted. So that definitely means, okay, now let me just paint a scenario. Bayern Munich is playing a match and Nicolas Jackson is brought in as a substitute in the 55 minutes. That simply means Nicolas Jackson's appearance in that game will not count because it's not up to 45 minutes. And it's rare for you to see managers make substitute in the start of the first half. It's very rare. Most managers make their substitution between the 60-minute mark, 70, 75, as the case may be. So, this kind of stringent condition attached to the contract of Nicolas Jackson, like I said in one of my videos, Nicolas Jackson's agent is the only one that can give clarity to all of this because he actually stood for Nicolas Jackson to secure that deal. So, we'll wait to see when Nicolas Jackson will come out to actually clear the air concerning the condition that is attached to Nicolas Jackson. Nicolas Jackson himself has actually resumed training with his new club, talking about FC Bayern Munich, and he was asked what is his take on the interview Uli Hoeneb actually had a couple of days ago. And here's what Nicolas Jackson has to say. Jackson on Uli Hoeneb's statement about the 40 starting appearances and whether it's a motivation to him to prove that he can do them. And Nicolas Jackson went on to say, obviously, I know Hoeneb is a big legend of this club. I have a lot of respect for him. I know him since before. My job is just to play and help the team win games. The number of games isn't my focus. I want to achieve big things with the club. End of quote. That was Nicholas Jackson's statement, and I never expected anything less than that. Currently, whether we like it or not, technically, with this condition on ground, Nicholas Jackson remains a Chelsea player that has gone on loan to FC Bayern Munich. Because with such stringent condition on ground, I don't see Nicholas Jackson meeting up with those conditions. But like I said, his target is to focus and play, help the team, win games, and also win club. And I wish him all the very best. In the coming days, we'll see how all of this definitely plays out. Okay, let's take a look at this report that came out a couple of days ago, and this was reported by Mike Keegan. Check this out. Exclusive. Ref cam is to be used at Arsenal versus Manchester City. 21st of September clash, a mark for latest trial. Comes after feisty clashes last season and dark heart claims. I know a lot of us will remember the match at Etihad Stadium last season that ended 2-2 draw. A lot of controversy that actually trailed that particular game, and it was a deep-heated one, and some kind of physical contact between both teams. So the clash between Arsenal and Manchester City on the 21st of this month, there will be a test of ref cam to be placed on the referee shirt, a camera that will actually enable the ref to video everything that will transpire in that game. It's the first of its kind, and it's going to be tried in that particular game. So we wait to see how that one will definitely play out. So, and also, check this news that is coming all the way from FIFA also. FIFA have confirmed they will be changing the international window. They have decided to reduce the number of international windows from 4 to 3, with the aim of reducing disruption to the domestic season. That's interesting, and it's good to know. FIFA wants to reduce the international window from 4 to 3 in a season, so that there will be much time for domestic league to actually happen. I think it's a good development, it's a good one, and a welcoming development. So kudos to FIFA for actually coming up with this. So there will be more game time in league football. What do you make of all the latest happening in the world of football? The Nicholas Jackson situation, the twists here and there, and also the signing of Emegha to Chelsea. Drop your comment down below. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you in my next video. Bye.